What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to the Warframe video. So we've got an episode of This Week in Warframe with the entire weekly reset. We'll be also going some news this week, because there is actually some news for This Week in Warframe as well. If you enjoy these types of videos, also build videos, all that kind of stuff, make sure to sub this channel. We do daily Warframe video uploads. Also, check out the live stream. I'll be live right after this video goes up, doing the weekly reset. Also testing out some Archon Hunt weapons for like DPS, like what's good and all that. So, if you're not already, come stop by. All right, let's get right into the first weekly reset stuff. We got Teshin over here. I think it was an Umbra form like a week or two ago. So what we got now? We got 50,000 Kuva from Teshin for 55 Steel Essence. It's technically a little bit of a bargain compared to how much he usually gives this to you for. So if you need some Kuva, go for it. Let's go ahead and look at Archides' wares on the Dorma Zone. Now, as far as news this week, if you watched my previous news video on basically on just the game in general, you might know that Steel Path, Endurance, Fissures, and Endless Fissures are disabled currently. There was a big glitch apparently, so until further notice, there is no like Steel Path Survival Fissures, Defense Fissures, Excavation, etc., etc. So just keep that in mind, as that is a very good place to usually farm traces, and Grendel Prime is out now. Not to mention that Hydroid Prime was announced to not be unvaulted yet, so Hydroid prices are going up and up and up. I'm trying to open all my Hydra relics before not too long. Okay, Archides' wares. These are a good amount of Pathos clamps to get this, but if you want this is interesting to you, feel free. We got Orokin Catalyst for 20, Pistol Ribbon for 15, Orokin Reactor for 20, 5k Kuva, and a Forma Blueprint. So if you need these, that's about like 20-ish minutes of farming, maybe longer than that. Actually, more like 30 or 40 minutes of farming. So as far as the Incarnons this week, let's see what we got. Okay, we got Saren Normal, Vauban Normal, and Nova Normal. So this is actually going to be a pretty hard choice, but to me it's not a very hard choice. So the place that Vauban Normal comes from is NIGHTWAVE cred offerings. If you want to use your NIGHTWAVE creds to buy this frame, you can get them guaranteed drops with minimal grinding from other places. That being said, his Helminth ability is Tesla Nervos. It's not exactly used very frequently, and Vauban himself has Vauban Prime, so he's not a super popular frame, but he's a decently good frame. I'd call him maybe like a C grade on difficulty of farm. Saren Normal, on the other hand, comes from Kale to Thane. The way you farm Kale to Thane, you have to get these like arena points, and then you have to do a pretty long boss fight to get these parts. At the end of the fight, you can get like a bunch of different stuff, and that's where Saren comes from. I'm going to go ahead and say I think Saren Normal is going to be the choice here this week, as she actually has a better Helminth than Vauban as well, with Molt, making it great shield gating, Stas Cleanse, etc., etc. So I'd say if you're taking a pick out of these three, and Nova just comes from the Raptors, so it's not very hard to farm Nova. I'd say go for Saren, as her farm requires points to do the fight. The fight's pretty long, and hey, look, I got Venom Dose for leveling up. Venom Dose is a pretty good arcane for Saren, actually a very good augment for Saren. So that's your normal path. Look at the Steel Path now. Reminder, if you have all the Incarnons, or rather, if you have the rank 9 Opportunity Intrinsic, you can now do this instead. And that's actually going to be utilized by me this week. As you can see, we have the Zylok Incarnon here, and the Zylok Prime just came out. So if you haven't been playing this game for a while and you know what an Incarnon is, you might know that actually Zylok Incarnon is not working properly. It never has been working properly. Multi-shot does not influence the explosion shot in the way it should. You only see really one damage number. But if you already have the Zylok Incarnon installed in the normal Zylok, you can do you can just remove it. You can remove it from the normal Zylok and install it on the Zylok Prime. Although you'll have to use Pathos clamps to do that. Now, is the Zylok Incarnon actually good? I'd say, ignoring the Incarnon explosion shot, yes, it is good. And that means I'm mainly looking at these stat bumps here. The normal Zylok has bad stats. The Zylok Prime stats aren't that much better. These buffs are going to give it a ton of extra crit chance it doesn't normally have. So it can make it like red crit and all that. So you're using it kind of like the felarx. The felarx primary shot is viewed as in a lot more positive way than the Incarnon shot. Same thing with the Zylok Incarnon. So we got that. It's an explosion fire shot. We've got the Siberian Incarnon. This thing apparently has a special attack, but I've never even noticed it, and I use this thing quite often. Very good for using on Frost for like cosplay. Got a gigantic piece of ice on a stick, and it does a lot of damage too, especially with Frost abilities buffing crit damage and all that. So maybe try the Siberian Incarnon. We got the Dread Incarnon. I've been really trying to like this one, honestly. I've been trying a lot to like this one. I got a good ribbon for it recently. But yeah, the Paris just feels better for some reason. So it's extremely similar to the Paris Incarnon. It makes it like a mini Nanorook arrow, where like it's a AoE arrow, like railgun arrow that can knock down an entire hallway. It has a lot less status chance than the Paris Prime. The Paris Prime is very similar to this, so if you have the Dread, I'd say don't be shy. Grab it if you want to. The Spare Incarnon, basically an delayed explosion kunai that is extremely powerful, can nuke down acolytes, but the Spare weapon itself is pretty rare. And then we got the Hate Incarnon, a very powerful scythe. Its Incarnon form will release like heat waves of ranged heat wave attacks on light attacks, not heavy attacks though. So as far as my overall recommendations to you this week, if you just got the Zylok Prime, maybe try the Zylok Prime Incarnon. But ignoring that, like the best ones this week are the Hate Incarnon and probably like really the second one's up to you. But the Hate Incarnon is the best one this week as it's a really powerful scythe. But again, the Hate is also a very rare weapon. It's like a 5% drop rate from the Stalker. So I say get whatever you have, and if you want to try the Zylok Prime Incarnon, that's what I'm getting this week. I'm going to get the Zylok Incarnon, and then I don't need any of these other ones, so I'm going to go for like a Riven or something after that, like maybe 20,000 Kuva, if I even go to level 10. So fun little thing you can do there now. That's going to be your Deviri stuff. Let's go look at the Nightwave and the Call Mission and Archon Hunts. Yeah, I will be testing out some Archon DPS stuff on stream tonight, guys. I got a couple ideas cooked up. But honestly, they made Archon fights a lot easier, in my opinion. They also made Call missions a lot better. Call moves much quicker through the mission. You can also infinitely farm stock if you want to do that. The stock boxes in the Call missions are, I think 2 stock each. I did it right before the video I'm recording just to see. And yeah, you can infinitely farm stock if you want to get like Styanax parts or whatever. So, looking at the Archon Hunt here, we have the Wolf Archon. With a Crimson Archon shard, so that'll be the guy I'll test the DPS on tonight. And as far as the mission types, we got Rescue, Excavation, and the final boss fight. That's a pretty straightforward one right there. Good luck getting that Archon Tau shard with power, strength, and all that kind of stuff. Moving on to the Call mission. I know a lot of players might not be on the same Call mission as me, but yeah. Let's just say, if you were looking to farm stock out of this, I'd recommend doing Sneaky Sabotage if that mission's the shortest. We got an Amber Shard at Chipper. I'll make sure to pick that one up. And for the Call mission, it should be Junk Run. It's Junk Run, and the challenges are Deathless, so complete without dying. Defeat the mini-boss Sprague. I'm probably not going to even bother with that. Get 10 kills while using the Hellion Jetpack. Find the extra Thumper parts for Chipper. That's usually marked on the map with a big green icon. Destroy 3 Pazul Axums. They're pretty good at hiding those. And defeat both of the Deacons using the Shock Trap. Not very descriptive here, but that's in the first room where there's a Deacon on the left, Deacon on the right. Just bait them over to the Shock Trap with the camera, and then activate the Shock Trap to blow them up. That's basically all that is right there. Yeah, you can technically farm stock infinitely for Call now. Okay, so let's see what our Nightwave is. And I'm actually have a video coming out soon on these new Nightwave augments that are actually for the next Nightwave, but yeah, not in this video. Complete 3 Void Flood missions. Gain a total of 5,000 standing across all Syndicate factions. That's super easy. You can just turn in some open world rep for that. Complete 3 Sabotage missions. Complete 5 Syndicate missions. Unlock 3 Relics. Complete 4 Halls of Ascension on Lua, so the parkour, little secret bonus rooms. And kill the Profit Taker. Pretty easy if you have this stuff unlocked, of course. But Profit Taker might not be unlocked for a lot of people. For our Cred Offering store, we got our Evergreen stuff at the top. Here's where normal Vauban comes from, by the way. And for helmets, we got the Revenant Vania helmet, the Wolf Hood. We've got, I mean, it's really going to be up to you if you think these look cool. We got a Varuna helmet. I don't see a Dagoth helmet in here yet. Someone was asking me how long it takes until the new frames helmets come in here. I don't actually really pay attention to that, to be honest. But it's going to be a while until Dagoth helmet's here, in my assumption. So for Aura mods, we got Infest Impotence, Shield Disruption, Sprint Boost, and EMP Aura. As far as any of these being worth it, I'd say the only one that's really worth it is Sprint Boost. These are some pretty bad Aura mods this week. For Mastery Fodder, we got the Normal Glaive, the Dark Dagger, the Plasma Sword, and the Pangolin Sword. So a good amount of Mastery Fodder this week. And as far as PvP Augment mods, we've got Ambush Optics giving minus Zoom for the Rubico, Focused Acceleration giving projectile speed for the Tetra while aiming, and Purging Slash for X-Scale. Removing debuffs when you hit an enemy, restoring shields too. That's pretty good. That's your Cred offerings and all that. Let's go ahead and look at the Invigorations. And I actually forgot to do the Invigoration for Dagoth last week, so let's hope I have a better one. I'd love to have a Power Strength Invigoration for Dagoth. Honestly, Range Invigoration didn't seem like it would be that great, so I ended up not doing it on her. Okay, so we've got, so these are random per player, to remind you. I usually just show these to see if there's going to be some fun, crazy build later in the week for the build videos. Alright, so let's get what we have here. We have, for Zephyr, 100% ability range and 25 heal rate. That's pretty good for Zephyr. I make my Ensnare Zephyr build cover the entire map. We've got 100% ability duration and 1,000 armor for Gyre. Okay, I don't think Gyre really needs armor, but duration could be nice. And we've got primary damage and reload speed for Atlas. Definitely things that Atlas isn't really doing as he's normally punching everything. So, yeah, those are my invigorations. I feel like is this the exact same invigoration I had last week for a different frame? Yet, I don't think heal rate's going to really help Dagoth that much, because you only got 666 health. But hey, ability range, I guess. I mean, what do you guys think? What's better for Dagoth? 100% duration and 1,000 armor, or 100% ability range and 25 heal rate? Let me know in the comments down below if you got this far in the video. Either way, guys, I really appreciate your support. We'll have the dev stream coverage later in the week. We're going to have lots of build. I got so many build videos planned, guys. It's just... I honestly want to upload more than one video per day. It's just I've been sleeping a bunch for some reason, so I'll stop sleeping as much. Sorry about that. We'll get a Helios video out. We'll get a Darza, new Hydroid video coming out tomorrow too. So keep an eye out on the channel on lots of new build videos and all that. Appreciate all the support, guys. See you next time. Peace.